Hello, we're here with Sebastian Gaskin. Hello.
Hello, hello.
How are you?
I'm great. How you
Are
doing?
you surviving the cold? It is like the coldest day of winter so far today.
Well, I am from Northern Manitoba, so this is a cool spring's breeze.
Oh, that must be nice for you. And then how does it feel when everyone around in Ontario then complains about the cold when it's,
I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah, totally. I lived in Edmonton for 5 years. So,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, coming back here felt like, the Bahamas or something.
Yeah,
it's so
for
nice.
sure.
How was it for you? Because how long have you been in Toronto now?
Going on 3 years, actually.
Well, how was that transition period for you? Because I find just coming to a new city in itself can be difficult, but Toronto feels hard, right?
For sure. I was very lucky in the way my transition happens. I've been dating this girl for about a year, and we decided that we both wanted to move to Toronto to further our professional careers and that sort of thing. And so we actually moved here together, but separately. We got our own separate places. I lived in this basement apartment in Parkdale for like a year, and then we finally moved in together after about a year. And
nice.
Yeah, my Toronto transition was actually quite easy, I think.
Nice. That's great. I'm glad to hear that. And also not moving in together right when you move here is
very adult decision.
That is an adult. I feel like most people would be like, let's just save on rent.
Yeah.
Let's just try it and see if it works.
Yeah.
And when did you first know that you had a gift? Because your voice is just spectacular. Did someone else point it out to you? Did you always have that love?
I mean, it kind of goes like way back into my childhood. My mom, I guess she was the first to kind of see the spark or whatever, and so she would enter me in these talent shows in my home reservation of Split Lake, and she'd make me sing these old country records and stuff, and that's kind of where I kind of first fell in love with performing in front of a crowd. But it actually wasn't until like 3rd or 4th grade where I picked up the fiddle. I entered an after-school fiddle club, and in September I was in the beginner course, and then by winter break I'd moved up to the advanced class. So I was like, okay, I think I might have a knack for something like this,
Yeah, totally. And they say like violin is one of the hardest instruments.
Well, it's very similar to the voice, right? Because as opposed to like the guitar, there's no frets, so you really got to be accurate with where you place your fingers and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been playing violin since I was 4.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey.
So I get it. It's tough,
Yeah.
but I like hardly play anymore. It is just hard to keep up with.
Totally.
And then when did you move on to other instruments?
I'm gonna say like 6th grade, 7th grade. I kind of started learning guitar. My cousin Tyler was big into like Metallica stuff, so he taught me like Fade to Black on the acoustic and stuff. And then it kind of just exploded from there. With having access to the internet and YouTube, I was able to teach myself more music and expand my tastes and stuff like that. And
wow. Yeah. So when would you say you found like your sound? You're like, okay, this is who I want to be as an artist.
That wasn't until like 2017.
Okay.
Yeah. I was in university for architecture and environmental design because I excelled in drafting in like grade 12, and so I thought I could just I could be an architect, But I quickly realized it takes a whole lot of math.
Yeah.
And so I was in there for maybe 3 months. I was just like, I'm gonna go write some music.
Nice.
I really love hip hop. I love alternative music, and grew up on country, so I feel like a lot of these different aspects of music were able to kind of come together, and and it's still evolving, every day. So
yeah. So you dropped out of after 3 months.
Yeah.
And then you're like, okay, I'm just gonna do music fully.
Yeah, thankfully with the support of my mom. Shout out to my mom.
Shout out to mom.
Yeah.
That's incredible. How did she support you in all this?
Well, she let me live in her basement,
Nice.
which is great. Yeah, and just always was kind of like that wind underneath my sails, telling me to move forward and keep going,
Yeah, and speaking of family, Song for Granny is so incredible. Immediately added to my playlist. I was like, this is so great.
Thank you.
Can you explain where that song came from, the inspiration?
Yeah, so my grandma passed away a number of years ago, and it's a tough loss for any family, but she was a massive pillar in our family, and this song sort of allowed me to rehash some of those old wounds and sort of reconnect with her a little bit. And it's sort of written as a conversation, between me and her. It's like kind of updating her on like what's happening in the family, sort of things. People having health issues and whatever, selling their houses and whatever. But it kind of helped me to sort of process some of that leftover grief, and do it in a beautiful way.
Yeah, and like carry on her like story
Absolutely.
in a way too, by continuing to talk about her and all of that. So that's got to be nice. I can't imagine like dealing with that grief in that way.
Mm-hmm.
That's so sweet.
That's one of the beautiful things about music,
Mm-hmm.
That's why I'm so grateful to be able to write.
Yeah.
Because it allows you to sort of process things. And,
Yeah. What was your favorite thing about her?
About what?
About your grandmother?
Oh my gosh. She was just so caring, She, in our home community, she was a band counselor for a number of years. But even after she stopped serving on the council, she was somebody that people always came to. There were, people would come all hours of the night sometimes. Having problems at home, she's the one they'd come to speak and get advice from, and she was just a wealth of knowledge.
Nice.
Yeah.
Do you feel like you have any traits from her?
I too am a wealth of knowledge.
Yeah.
No. She was a singer. She was a gospel singer. So that sort of passed down to me, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so sweet. I love that. When you said that you're writing Brown Man, you said it caused you to think about your place in the world and the way that you are affected by the way that people perceive you.
Mm-hmm.
Can you expand on that?
Absolutely. Yeah. I'm a pretty large dude. I have very bad resting bitch face. I found myself kind of like just like adjusting myself a lot just to like make sure I'm not like offending anybody or making someone scared or something, especially when I'm like kind of walking on the street at night. And it was, that sort of happened after, kind of the George Floyd murder and stuff. That sort of got me thinking about my place in the world as a, masculine presenting person, and how that affects people, and how my thoughts about how that affects people affected me.
How did it affect you?
I wasn't comfortable. I became uncomfortable with making people comfortable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Yeah. So then where do you go from there? Just not adjusting yourself to...
Yeah, I'm just, I feel like I'm just more relaxed, I think, in all situations.
Yeah. So album is coming out
Yeah.
February 14th.
Yeah.
How does that feel?
Damn, it's been a journey.
Yeah.
Yeah, this album went through multiple iterations leading up to this one finally. The past 6 years, there's lots that's happened. It's exciting.
Yeah.
I can't wait for people to hear this, and because I've worked so hard on this. It's been such a journey.
Yeah. How has the album changed and shaped since you first started making it?
It's a lot bigger.
Okay.
In sound. So the initial version was just instruments, like live raw instruments, like very little production, but it's sort of evolved into this, like, I imagine it as a stadium show, as a large show, with pyrotechnics and all this kind of stuff, and so you'll hear that in a lot of the songs.
Nice. What are you most excited for people to take away from the album?
A lot of these songs helped me a lot. As I said earlier, writing helps me process different events in my life and traumas and stuff like that. So I really hope that at least a few of the songs can help do that for other people.
Yeah. That's so sweet. What do you feel like we'll learn about you?
I'm a big softie.
Yeah. I clocked that as soon as you walked in. I knew it. That's so sweet. When's the first time you heard yourself on the radio?
Oh, man. That probably was... so the first song I ever put out, 6 a.m., I entered it into the Indigenous Music Countdown back in 2017, and wasn't expecting to actually get on, and then like 3 weeks later, I heard myself on NCI, and I was like, whoa, what? Yeah,
That's
it was
crazy.
very exciting.
Did you know you were going to be on it? You tuned in to listen?
Well, yeah, I think they send you like an email. They're like,
Okay.
you've been chosen to be on. Yeah, so
That's
yeah, so it was
crazy.
cool.
That's got to be a surreal moment.
Yeah.
I can imagine like anytime you hear it, not even just the first time.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's so sweet. Who are you listening to right now? Who do you get inspired by? Who do you always go back to when listening to music?
Right now, I've been listening to a lot of Leon Bridges. His new album, Leon, is amazing.
So good.
I'm going back to my teenage years a little bit, listening to Coheed and Cambria a lot. I'm going back to my prog rock days.
Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of Party Next Door, too.
Nice.
Yeah.
I love that. That's so sweet. Sebastian, thank you so much for being here.
Of course. Thank you for having me.
I appreciate it. Congratulations on the new album. Can't wait to hear it.